some of the films nominating the Academy Awards this year are starting to be getting Criterion editions. The Criterion Collection announced the films that they'll be releasing in May of 2026, and Joachim Trier's Sentimental Value is getting a Criterion edition as expected, which the film might possibly get Best Supporting Actor at the Academy Awards this year. Plus, we also have an early film from the director of Peter Hodges' Day, and also we have a 4K upgrade of an Akira Kurosawa film. So let's find out which films the Criterion Collection will be releasing in May. So now on the website of the Criterion Collection, and apparently for May of 2026, we have 5 new titles being put in the collection, plus 1 4K re-release, and also a Criterion premieres release with Ira Sachs's Peter Hodges' Day, which you can probably see on the Criterion channel, but also one of his early films, The Delta, will actually be releasing it this month as well, too, which we'll get to in a moment. But of course, the big title that's probably going to release in is Sentimental Value, which, as you probably know, got a few nominations at the Academy Awards this year, and I probably said a lot of things about this film. It's also one of my favorite films of last year, and it does tackle on nepotism as well as a film director kind of trying to reconnect with her daughters, but apparently her daughters won't get involved in the filming about their lives, and probably going to be getting some awards at the Academy Awards this year. But and I probably know what the film talks about, but for anyone who probably doesn't know about the film, let's just see what happens in it. Kind of like the cover of the Blu-ray, where apparently you see the house scene in the film, and then the backs of the daughter and the director in there, and it shows it in the wintertime. Joachim Trier, one of contemporary cinema's great humanists, excavates layers of history and memory, both national and personal, for this rich and fully moving story of one family's attempt to come to terms with generations of trauma and healing. After the death of their mother, 2 sisters must contend with the return home to Norway of their estranged father, celebrated filmmaker Gustav Borg. In the case of Nora, an actor he hopes to reconnect by casting her in his new film, a project that both inflicts fresh wounds and reopens old ones, which a virtuous ensemble cast that also includes Inga is daughter Lelis, and a breakout performance in Elle Fanning, who plays the American actress that apparently was cast to be in Gustav's film, also great in the film too. Trier's film delicately balances each moment of humor and hurt, conducting a stunning emotional exploration of how the past echoes in the present and art can transform pain into catharsis. Even the song and we hear in the beginning of the film kind of explains all that. So let's find out what are the special features of the Criterion Collection edition of Sentimental Value, which is a director-approved 4K special edition, which includes obviously a new 4K digital master approved by the director, Joachim Trier, with 5.1 surround DTS HD Max audio soundtrack. It doesn't have HDR on the Blu-ray. There is a new conversation between the Trier and filmmaker Mike Mills. New selected scene commentaries by Trier, co-screenwriter Eskil Fod, production designer Jorgen Stengby Larsen, sound designer Giselle Thibodeau. New interviews with the film's stars, including Stellan Skarsgård, Renee Revis, Inga is daughter Lillis, and Elle Fanning. The lead scenes of the film, film's preview, new English subtitle translation, and English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, plus an essay by author Karl Kasdan, to a cover by Chris Ware. So, and also apparently with the packaging of this release, apparently it isn't put in a digipack. So, yeah, I did like the film, so I'm probably gonna get this edition for sure. And yeah, probably gonna pre-order it straight away. But now to the apparently let's see, now to probably some of the other films that they'll be releasing in the in the month, which one of them is kind of related to a film that was seen in another film that is in the collection made by the same director that made this film. First, Bob Fosse, the famous choreographer who did the choreography of Chicago, apparently also directed films, including All That Jazz, in which that film was a semi-autobiographical about his life, with you had Roy Schneider kind of playing him in that film, and then in the film you also see him kind of making a film which is kind of similar to the next film we're going to be talking about, a film that talks about a comedian called Lenny, which has Dustin Hoffman playing the title role, and but this was something I kind of want to see after seeing all that jazz, which is a good movie if you want to see too. Let's see what fan talks about. Director Bob Fosse's nervy, free-wheeling showbiz drama tells the real-life story of taboo-shattering comedian Lenny Bruce, the counterculture prophet whose unfiltered soul opened up new frontiers in self-expression. Dustin Hoffman brings a live wire intensity to his portrayal of the Motormouth Bruce as he goes from small-time strip club enemies to free speech lightning rod, while Valerie Penny lends the film its soul with her deeply affecting performance as his wife Honey, innocent laws on the dark side of Bohemia. Yeah, and kind of they're releasing this just when the Bradley Cooper's recent film Is This Thing On was released, which does tackle on like everyday people being comedians. I mean, Marvelous Miss Maisel was kind of like that too. And then a complex portrayal of one iconoclast by another, Fosse's film makes stark use of stark monochrome photography and kinetic editing to vividly capture Bruce's smoky, seedy backstage world. I mean, that was kind of the same style, and apparently we see like Rob Schneider's character and all that jazz kind of making that film. And he does that apparently while he's working on a musical. Let's see what the special features of this edition of the film. It has a new 4K restoration with uncompressed mono soundtrack. The film presented with Dolby Vision HDR. An audio commentary from 2015 featured film historians Nick Webb and Julie Kurgo. An archival interview with film stars Dustin Hoffman and Valerie Penny. Interview with editor Alan Ham. Film's preview. English subtitles with the deaf and hard of hearing. Plus an essay by critic Mark Ferris and a 1975 interview with the rhythm of the film Bob Fosse. Cover based on an original theatrical poster. So, apparently not a lot of... Apparently no special news, no special features on this release, so... But I'll probably, watch this eventually. But then now to probably another big title that's probably going to be released in the collection. And this involves, another director that's also in the collection already, with Lawrence Kasdan, which you probably know is one of the people that wrote some of the Star Wars films, but he also directed the cult classic The Big Chill, which is a film that probably Lena Dunham actually apparently likes. She even wrote an essay about it in the booklet on the Criterion Collection edition of that film. Of course, in that scene in the film where they go to the main people kind of go to the funeral and you hear the Rolling Stones, "You can't always get what you want." That was a brilliant scene. But now we have another one of his directorial films with Body Heat, which a lot of people are excited about this film, but that's what it talks about. Well, this is actually his first film, by the way, actually, as a director. With his debut feature, acclaimed writer-director Lawrence Kasdan brilliantly updated the conventions of 1940s film noir for the 1980s, resulting in one of the steamiest and most influential erotic thrillers ever made. On the sultry South Florida coast, lawyer Ned Razzie. Oh, and this is actually William Hurt's in this before he was in The Big Chill. It's on into a torrid affair with unhappily married housewife Maddie Walker, played by Kathleen Turner in a star-making performance. And it's not before they hatch a scheme to murder her wealthy husband. Featuring ingenious plot twists, memorable hard-boiled dialogue, and an atmosphere so evocative you can practically feel the humidity. Body Heat is a languorously seductive tale of greed and desire one that paved a new path for the American crime cinema. So this is probably a very influential film kind of sense. Let's find out what are the special features on the Criterion edition of this film, which has a new 4K digital restoration supervised by editor Carl Littleton and approved by the person who made the film, Lawrence Kasdan, uncompressed stereo soundtrack, an altered 5.1 DTS HD Master Audio soundtrack. The film presented in Dolby Vision HDR, an interview with Kasdan, as well as a new conversation between Littleton and film historian Bobby Oseen. Archival programs featuring Kasdan, Littleton, film stars William Hurt, Kathleen Turner, Ted Danson. Oh, he's in this film too. Cinematographer Richard H. Klein, and composer John Barry. Fully scenes preview, English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, plus an essay by author Megan Abbott, new cover by Michael Bolland. So this does have a few new interviews, which kind of goes into the making of it, so I'll probably see this at some point. And then we got, of course, one of Ira Sachs's early films with The Delta, which, based on the cover of this, was apparently does kind of have a similar style with Peter Hudge's Day, which I think both of them were filmed on 16mm film, I think, but let's see what this one talks about. The complexities of race, class, and sexuality collide within a Memphis community, in the strikingly raw debut feature from director Ira Sachs. But near immediacy, The Delta tells what at first appears to be a simple love story. Two young men, Lincoln, a closeted white teenager, and Min, a black Vietnamese immigrant, meet at a cruising spot and embark on a nighttime journey by boat down the Mississippi River. But soon balances of power and privilege emerge between them as the film develops into a devastating vision of lost, wounded souls reaching out in the dark for human connection. Let's see what the special features of the Criterion Collection edition of this film, which actually you can also watch this right now on the Criterion channel. It's a new 2K digital restoration supervised and approved by the director, Ira Sachs, with uncompressed mono soundtrack, and on commentary with Sachs from 2001, a new interview with him as well, conducted by film critic Keith Illich, 2 short films by Sachs, including Vaudeville and Lady from 1991 and 1993, respectively, English Letters for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, plus an essay by author and film creator Michael Kursky, new cover by Juan Miguel Marin. So, it does have an interview with Ira Sachs plus 2 of his short films, but yeah, this will probably be a film I'll probably watch at some point. And I think this next film that apparently they're also releasing in May, apparently, is also from another director that also has a film in the collection. Of course, we have Shirley Chang's Fresh, which I don't know anything about this film, but I'm gonna double check if she already has a film in the collection. Nope, this is actually her first film in the collection, or he's first film in the collection, so let's see what it talks about. A disturbingly present ecofeminist parable and a brainwave scrambling cyberpunk fantasia, the debut feature from new media pioneer Shirley Chang measures a bold vision of realistic with an exuberant early internet aesthetic. In dystopian chic New York, where Susie Jones and Tassie Waits exist side by side, a lesbian couple turned to the hacker underground to solve their daughter's disappearance, in the process exposing conspiracy involving corporate greenwashing and tainted fish. Swinging between ultra satire and git pop, Fresh Kill sounds like a lot about a capitalist system that pollutes everything from our waterways to our bodies to our minds. Okay, I mean, that's kind of an interesting film, but it was interesting that we have like back to back. We have 2 films being released this month that do involve LGBTQ plus stories. Let's see what the special features of the Criterion Collection edition of the film. It has a new 4K restoration service and approved by director Shirley Chang and director of photography Jane Castle with 2.0 surround DTS-18 master audio soundtrack. New interviews with Chang and film star Sarita Choudhury. A new program following the 2024 theatrical re-release of the film and Chang's self-distribution. So this is an independent film, actually. But I mean, it might be released by Janus Films, I think. A discussion with Chang for the film's 20th anniversary, moderated by scholar Jigna Desai and presented by the Hersey Wolf Center at the University of California, Santa Barbara. A profile of Chang, who was the recipient of the organization's the LG Guggenheim Art and Technology Institute's 2024 Award for Artist Achievement, English subtitles The Deaf and Hard of Hearing, plus an essay by artist and technologist Mindy Sue, new cover by Jillian Adele. So this is probably one of these types of releases where apparently profile on the director, and I mean, I probably might watch this film at some point, probably at least. And those are apparently all the new films that they'll be releasing in May of this year. But apparently there is also the one re-release, which of course is one of many 4K releases of films made by Akira Kurosawa, which is another of his like present day films with Stray Dog, which apparently Paul Dowd might have talked about reading the booklet of the Criterion edition of this film, apparently somewhere. But I mean, yeah, this is another Akira Kurosawa film that I've probably yet to see, and does have some of his like famous shots in the film, because with his modern day films. But so apparently, since this is a 4K re-release, of course the special features on this are probably going to be the same, but it does have a new 4K digital restoration, which should actually look great. I mean, like because it kind of looks like that it's actually been made today, even though this film was released in 1949. Which in this release, it does have an audio commentary by Stephen Prince, who does a lot of audio commentaries on Criterion releases of films by Akira Kurosawa. An episode of Akira Kurosawa's It's Wonderful to Create, where they kind of talk about the making of that film. Plus an essay by film critic Terence Rafferty and an excerpt from Kurosawa's book, Something Like an Autobiography, covered by William Logan and Jim McKendry. And those are pretty much the films that the Criterion Collection will be releasing in May of 2026, where we have, of course, one of the films nominated the Cameron Awards this year with Sentimental Value, apparently, which I'm probably going to get pre-order that immediately. I mean, and kind of speaking about that, apparently, like they're actually doing, by the time I actually release this, they're actually doing a sale right now where apparently all 4K Blu-rays are apparently 30% off, including ones that are available for pre-order. So you can actually get that right now for about 30% off. And kind of related with that, but apparently, I mean, but the possible chance of like a flash sale happening next month, which still haven't seen the email yet about where I kind of get like a little gift card that could be used for the flash sale. So the possible chance it's probably going to happen next month, and I'm probably going to get probably his previous film, The Worst Person in the World, which I should have saw that before I see Sentimental Value. But I mean, like I'll probably yeah, that's the one I'm probably going to get. For sure, I'm going to probably get at the next flash sale. But we also got some a Bob Fosse film about a comedian with Lenny, as well as an influential debut feature from Loris Kasdan with Body Heat. Ira Sachs's maybe surely a debut feature, The Delta, and also maybe a profile on Shirley Chung with Fresh Go. What are your thoughts on the films that the Criterion Collection will be releasing in May of this year? You can put your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, you could probably like the video. Subscribe to my channel where I'll probably talk more about the Criterion Collection, anything related to film. But I'll see you later. Bye, everyone.